Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Pitch Side, the podcast channel. I'm your host, the HOD of the PSP. Like, share, comment on this video what you think of the game, and subscribe. Most importantly, if you're new to the channel, enable notifications to receive all of the updates from these match recaps and all of the content on the channel. Follow us on social media. I'm at PSP on Twitter, PitchSidepod on Instagram, and listen to the podcast on all our platforms or www.webreadsports.com. We're coming to you straight after the game between Bayern Munich and Freiburg ended 2-1 at the Allianz Arena, and this is certainly, it was a much more, it was a hard game. I expected it to be a hard game, and certainly it was at certain moments, but overall it was job done. Let's say that it was job done for Bayern, starting pretty strong, scoring early in 6 minutes with Lewandowski, of course. An injury early on for Freiburg, and they had to make a substitution as Santa Maria went down injured. So overall, the first half was pretty Bayern dominated, with the fleeting moments of possession really for Freiburg. Certainly Bayern missed a couple of chances, a couple of saves, of course. Gnabry going down injured. Certainly it was an eventful first half, despite the lead being only one goal, and Bayern could have easily added another goal or two probably to their lead. Freiburg didn't have chances in the first half, but certainly they had opportunities to go through and try to, get into the Bayern defence a little bit more. But certainly Bayern realised that they shouldn't be going really that high, and they weren't caught that much, to be fair, in the first half. They weren't caught pretty much high. It was just the fact that Freiburg had a couple of half, decent attempts in the first half. The second half started with Bayern pretty much camping in the defence of Freiburg in the beginning. The first 15 to 20 minutes, really, they were really camping inside the Freiburg defence. But when you miss, a couple of chances again, Florian Müller with some incredible saves to denying Bayern a second goal, a ball that hit the crossbar from Robert Lewandowski, just before the goal with 2 minutes. And then, of course, on the first actual portion of the second half, where Freiburg gets in possession, they, get a gifted corner pretty much that Davis could have avoided easily. Misunderstanding between him and Neuer resulted into a corner that resulted into a set-piece mistake by Alphonso Davies himself as well. And it was 1-1 for Freiburg, and it was, the substitute Peterson coming off straight off the bench, straight into that corner, straight into the score sheet. It was clean sheet gone for Bayern again, and some nervy moments were after that goal, pretty much for 4 or 5 minutes after that goal, before Sané made it before Müller made it 2-1 from a Sané assist. That was some nervy couple of moments for the defending champions. And certainly after that, they didn't look that comfortable after the goal. The substitutions, of course, with Goretzka seemingly facing injury problems again. Kimmich being taken out as well. Tolisso and Musiala being introduced. It was, the same drill, of course. And, later on, Freiburg had some serious opportunity to score the second goal. They could have easily added the second while they have the lead, but certainly Bayern made them bed for it. And later on in the game, it was a crossbar from Vincenzo Grifo, I think, hitting the crossbar late, really late and deep on in the stoppage time. But Freiburg were unlucky in this game. They had a flurry in the last couple of minutes. They almost scored on a couple of occasions, and they gave me as a fan, of course, and surely they gave all of the Bayern fans a real scare. Now, overall, this is a good win in terms that it gives you a 4-point lead at the top of the table. Certainly, you're back at the right path, even not in the best of performances. You still dominated the game, and you still did enough to win. Basically, this is a win on first gear for Bayern, but certainly the scary moments and the scary situations are still there. There wasn't exactly defensive, errors, or there wasn't exactly a loss of defensive shape as much as it was individual errors at certain points. Alphonso Davies didn't have exactly the best of games, but in my opinion, I would certainly give credit to a couple of players. who probably deserve it on the night. Sané and Pavard, two of the players who have been most criticised, I think, for their performances. They have been, good. They've been decent today. I think Benjamin Pavard did the defensive side of his game, relatively well. Certainly, Sané had a good involvement in the second half and was a part of the goal. And towards the end of the game, he started, getting a little bit of momentum. I'm sure by garnering some, more time on the pitch, he will probably return to near his best at the moment. Lewandowski scored another goal, but not being too much of a presence for the whole game. A couple of chances in the second half, again hitting the crossbar. Overall, it was a good performance, enough to win 2-1. I mean, it wasn't exactly the ruthless Bayern that everybody came to expect in the last year or so, but it was eventually enough to get a win against the Freiburg side that worked with their capabilities, worked to their limitations, to the absolute maximum of their extent, and almost got the draw out of this. And potentially at certain points they could have gotten a lead and they could have made it very, very embarrassing for Bayern at the Allianz Arena. But overall, Bayern managed to thrive and managed to get 3 points. 4 points at the top of the table of the Bundesliga, heading into the second half of the season, starting on midweek against Schalke, and certainly it will give Bayern at least a certainly instant boost ahead of the rest of the season. That was all for this game. Like, again, comment on this video what you think of the game, of the performances of the players. Subscribe to the channel, most importantly, enable notifications if you're new. Site PSP on Twitter, page Site on Instagram. I'm there. Spotify, Google Podcasts, or any other platform to listen to the podcast. I was your boy, the HOD of the PSP, and until next time, goodbye.